Most remodelers design their marketing for 4% of the market and completely ignore the other 96%. Think about how most remodeling websites work. Someone lands on the site, and the main call to action is usually something like contact us, schedule a consultation, request an estimate. Now that makes sense if someone is ready to start their project today. But here's the problem. Only a very small percentage of homeowners in your market are actually ready to start remodeling a project right now. The vast majority are still researching. And if your website only converts people who are ready today, you're ignoring most of your potential future clients. Hey, I'm Spencer Powell. I'm the CEO over at BuilderFunnel, and we help remodelers and custom builders grow their businesses using content, systems, and proven marketing strategies. And today, we're talking about one of the biggest missed opportunities in remodeling marketing, the 96% of visitors that most websites completely ignore. Let's start with a simple reality about buyer behavior. At any given time in your local market, only about 4% of homeowners are actively ready to start a remodeling project. They've already decided, they're looking for a contractor, they're comparing companies, they're ready to talk. But the other 96% of homeowners who are thinking about remodeling are still in research mode. They're asking questions, they're learning what things cost, they're trying to understand the process, they're collecting ideas, they're not ready to call a contractor yet. And this research phase can last months, sometimes even years. But here's where most remodelers accidentally sabotage their own marketing. Their entire website is built for the 4%. Everything pushes toward one action: contact us. Now imagine you're a homeowner thinking about remodeling your kitchen. You've got questions. How much does this cost? How long does it take? Do we need permits? What's the process like? You're not ready to schedule a consultation yet. You just want information. So you land on a remodeler's website, and the only option is contact us. That feels like a big step. It feels like you're starting a sales conversation. So what do most people do? They leave. Not because they weren't interested, but because the website didn't match where they were in the decision process. This is why understanding the difference between researching buyers and ready buyers is so important. Ready buyers want speed. They want an easy way to talk to you. A phone number, a consultation scheduler, a contact form. But researching buyers want something else entirely. They want clarity. They want answers. They want to understand the project before they talk to someone. And if you help them during the research phase, something powerful happens. You start building trust long before the sales conversation ever begins. Think about your own behavior when you're researching something expensive. Maybe a car, maybe a vacation, maybe a big home purchase. You spend time learning, reading, watching videos, comparing options. And by the time you actually talk to a company, you already have a strong opinion about who you trust. Remodeling buyers behave the exact same way. The companies that win the most projects aren't just visible when someone is ready to buy, they're helpful during the research phase. They answer questions, they educate the buyer, they become the trusted expert. So when the homeowner eventually becomes part of that 4% who are ready to buy, they already know who they want to work with. Now, here's the key shift. Instead of designing your marketing only for ready buyers, you want to create paths for both types of visitors. For the 4% who are ready to buy today, make it incredibly easy to start a conversation. Clear contact options, consultation scheduling, obvious next steps. But for the 96% who are still researching, you need a different kind of entry point. Something valuable, something helpful, something that moves them forward in their research. That might be a cost guide, a remodeling planning checklist, a budget calculator, a timeline guide. When someone downloads something like that, they're not committing to hiring you. They're simply saying, this looks helpful. But in that moment, something important happens. You move from anonymous traffic to a real relationship. Now you can continue educating them, sharing project examples, explaining your process, helping them feel more confident about their future project. And over time, many of those researching buyers will move into the ready category. The companies who capture their attention early are usually the ones who win the job. Now this matters even more right now because buying cycles are getting longer. With economic uncertainty, homeowners are taking more time to plan projects. They're researching more carefully. They're comparing options. They want confidence before making a big investment, which means the companies who show up during the research phase have a huge advantage. If your marketing only captures people who are ready today, you're constantly chasing the smallest slice of the market. But when you design your marketing to engage both groups, something changes. You're not just generating leads today, you're building a pipeline of future projects. And that pipeline becomes one of the most valuable assets in your business. Because the remodeler who earns trust during the research phase often becomes the obvious choice when the project finally begins. And that's why the smartest remodeling companies aren't just competing for the 4%. They're building relationships with the other 96% long before the sales conversation ever happens. We'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.